Why are they cutting people off? Well, because they can't make any specific money. I'm making a video right now as I'm talking about YouTube and YouTube being censored. Have you see? Órale, vatos, ¿qué pasó? Estoy Lukardowski de We Are Change aquí en Brooklyn 9. You okay? Did I forget anything? No, we're good. All right, in this video, I specifically wanted to talk about the oncoming YouTube apocalypse coming on December 10th with its terms and services being changed to the fact that now YouTube can delete channels if they're no longer commercially viable. And I'm seeing a lot of misinformation and a lot of hyperbolic talk around this, and I just wanted to clarify first, nothing is going to change on December 10th for everyone. These are very vague rules that are very generalized, but there's a big important kind of understanding that a lot of people are lacking. That essentially is that YouTube is a business that has been losing money since, of course, it is extremely expensive to host videos online, especially allowing anyone and everyone to upload whatever they want. Second aspect is YouTube already has a very vague terms of services that says that they can do whatever the hell they want. And already they do whatever the hell they want. I was just checking yesterday on my videos. I'm like, wait, that video's deleted. I'm like, forget demonetized. Videos of mine, I'm going back in records, are just being deleted even without notification. This also happened to Tim Pool. This also happened to Josh Sigurdsson. This also happened to Dan Dix, where your content, your work is just, we're just gonna take it down. Forget about demonetized. There's a whole nother layer here. They already exist. Channels, entire careers, entire ability for individuals to survive are just being completely usurped. Well, why? What terms and conditions did they violate? Well, no one cares. No one knows. And why is that? Because YouTube could already do whatever they want. But this is yet another step that I wanted to talk about in a grander scheme, and that is the bigger technological information revolution that's happening right now. And it's an incredible time to be alive, and it could go either way. It could be really bad or really good, but we really do have to highlight the incredible time that we are in right now, and the incredible possibility to do the impossible is now at our very own fingertips. Of course, this is making a lot of people afraid. Of course, this is making a lot of people panic. And of course, the reaction to power, information being diversified, kind of like a new Martin Luther revolution happening in this world. The reaction to that is a lot of the people who previously held the power, a lot of the bigger media conglomerates that are losing influence, viewership, money, well, they're freaking out. And with their freak out, that could either allow us to have an opportunity, or that could allow us to be steamrolled over. I still believe all of those are possible, but actually, I've been spending time with a friend of mine who also is a YouTuber. He does self-help. I don't want to say who he is because he's going to get attacked if people find out that we talk to each other. I'm going to get attacked because people are going to find out that I talk to him. But he's panicking. He's freaking out. He's like, man, they're going to take down this channel. They're going to screw my livelihood. How else can I make a living? And I kind of wanted to remind him and remind you that where YouTube is going is essentially eviscerating all independent, free thought and thinking. And you can see that by just the slow, evidential actions that YouTube have caused. Now, we've been warning you about this all the way back in 2006. 2006, you could go back on this channel if the videos are not deleted yet, saying, hey, YouTube is just going to completely screw everyone over. They just sold themselves out to Google. Google's going to screw everyone over. They have deep connections with intelligence agencies. watch out. And this is something that, of course, you've been warning about, something that I didn't want to believe. I still don't want to believe it because we've had it really good. We've had it incredibly. YouTube, a system where anyone and everyone could just upload whatever they want at a point in time without any censorship, without anyone in the middle, that created an incredible revolution. And when you look back at it, the internet has had profound, amazing effects. Sure, there's also really negative effects that we could get into, but being an optimist, let's talk about some of the positive ones. Because let's delve into this. Because if it wasn't for independent media, the internet, and memeing, the significance of the Jeffrey Epstein story wouldn't exist. Everyone would have been like, what Jeffrey Epstein story if the mainstream media was still in charge? But guess what? They can't do that because of people's voices. There was an invasion in Syria that was averted, that Barack Obama was set on committing himself to, but because of large public voices going against that being one of the factors, I do believe it was one of the contributing factors that ultimately stopped this conflict in Syria that looked inevitable from happening. I believe that this is also a deterrent against Iran. I believe this is a deterrent to why more people are waking up to anti-establishment, anti-war voices. And whether it's for the good or for the bad, it's one of the reasons why a supposed anti-establishment outsider, whether you see him as that now or not is not important, but an anti-establishment outsider like Donald Trump was able to beat the epitome of mainline politics, mainstream media, establishment candidate Hillary Rodham Clinton. And it was predominantly because of the internet, because of the memes. And if you're someone in power, and say you're someone who knew Jeffrey Epstein and you're in power and you're a pedophile, you're shaking in your boots because you're losing power, and this power is being given away to all these random individuals that are calling you out on your horrible crimes. So of course the big industries that are connected to Google, that are connected to Alphabet, that are connected to YouTube, including the government agencies that are connected to them, of course they're going to be panicking in their books, because we're ultimately having another Martin Luther revolution, information being decentralized, empowering your average common man. And the results of that are people pushing back against their bull crap. And it's beautiful. And again, there was a time period where that information was unimpeded. Now it's impeded very heavily. Not only with demonetizations, I remember just even looking at my videos earlier today, I'm like, man, I wish after my video was playing that another video would play. No, it's one of those late night TV hosts that I keep clicking I'm not interested in, but it keeps recommending it to me. You look at the trending page, it's all the worst of the worst garbage from the mainstream media. You look at the channels they promote trannies talking about penises to little kids on there. And they have Will Smith saying, whoa. And essentially what YouTube is going to be doing here, and this is the harsher truth that I'm having a hard time realize, but I'm explaining to my friend that I'm explaining all this to, is our time and age on YouTube has ended. They have monopolized the industry in a way by providing it for free, losing money, similar to what the Rockefellers did, providing, of course, very cheap oil prices next to their competitors during the oil baron days in the early start of this country. And they would make a lot of businesses fail. And those businesses that couldn't compete with the lower prices of the Rockefellers for oil, they were put out of business. Rockefeller got a monopoly in a specific town and city, and then they hiked up oil prices. And then was able to make a killing off of it. And then this is the same thing that has happened with a commodity that has now surpassed oil in its market value, and that is information. Information is power, and those that we wield it openly to empower everyone, that's something that they're not gonna allow. And their strategy right now, which we're seeing unfold, is of course now the culling. That's been happening slowly. It's the whole boiling the frog analogy that we're seeing unfold right now, and then sadly we're going to continue to see for a very long time, because this boiling, it's only the beginning. And this is why we're seeing more vague terms of services saying if you're not commercially viable, we're going to cut you off. Why are they cutting people off? Why are they cutting people off? Well, because they can't make any specific money. How are you? I'm making a video right now as I'm talking about YouTube and YouTube being censored. Have you? Shit. See, there you go. The young kids. Tell me about your experiences on YouTube. Were you there during the YouTube heyday, during the good days where YouTube was decentralized and still had good information?
YouTube is not good. If you go on YouTube, you're gay. I'm just saying. Netflix is the vibe. Netflix is the vibe. This is the shittiest QB in the world. Hey, he's on YouTube. Look.
Yo, I'm your snack. You know the vibe. Dijon the GOAT.
All right. So as you just heard it from the young kids, in a very non-politically correct way, which most people are. Most people are sick of the non-politically correct way. YouTube is trash, and this is the inevitable revolution. But what YouTube is hoping to do is hoping to fool a lot of the young people, like you just saw come up to me, is hoping to fool them, and they're like, as they're trying to fool you, they're trying to push off anyone anti-establishment, not just journalists. We're talking about gamers. We're talking about self-helpers. We're talking about anything that is not mainline, pedophile, sexual abused, Hollywood-approved bullcrap. They're trying to slowly push everyone off the ledge, take them off the platform, so they could just become the new kind of Netflix, as those kids said. They like Netflix more than YouTube. That's a general trend. This is why YouTube is trying to become the next Netflix. And as they're slowly trying to wipe away anything that is not approved by the establishment, they're like, here, don't worry. We have Will Smith saying, yeah, doing a year in review video. Watch Will Smith, guys. And then everybody, including those young kids, are like, we don't want that. So the bigger takeaway here is, and I wanted to crescendo this video on, is this could go either way. From the reaction of just those random kids that I saw, and the reaction from almost everyone that I talked to, there's a reason YouTube has lost a lot of money pushing mainstream media, getting rid of alternative media, and this is only going to continue. I'm a serial optimist. Some people say I'm too optimistic. Some people say I'm delusional, but I truly, deep down in my heart, believe that everything long-term will turn out for the better. But the long-term strategy is we most likely won't have a future here on YouTube. Anything anti-establishment won't have a future. On December 10th, we will not see a major significant move, because this major significant moves has already begun, and they're going to continue in that same way. And YouTube, of course, is not going to cut everyone on December 10th. There'll be too much pushback. They're going to cut another person off at a later time, and they're going to wait a little bit and demonetize another channel. They're going to wait a little bit, censor another channel. They're going to wait a little bit, and then the hits are going to keep coming in many different directions. But the strategy here is to push as much information, push as many targets out there, and at the same time also prepare everyone from the upcoming just total deletion of independent media, independent thought on YouTube, which is coming soon. They're hoping we don't notice, but we do notice. They're hoping to keep the audience, and they won't. And this is why I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend for you guys to sign up on the email list that we have for wearechange.org. We wouldn't exist if it wasn't for you guys voting with your attention, voting with your likes, voting with your shares. Again, not only videos getting demonetized, like the level of censorship is just absolutely crazy. But we're going to usurp it. We already are. I'm a stubborn son of a gun, and an optimistic son of a gun at that. So sign up on the email list. Thank you for joining me during one of my walk and talks. I hope you appreciated the views of South Brooklyn. We're here outside the Marlboro houses, a place that I grew up very near to and played a lot of basketball. And that's enough about me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.